Hello everybody, my name is Aydan Acar Şahin. I'm studying at Ankara University. Before my presentation, I would like to thank to Eurasian Biochem 2023 organizing committee for their efforts to bring all of us together in this virtual conference. Now, I will present you the effects of meteorological factors and atmospheric pollutants on acer pollen loads in urban area. This is my outline. I will briefly explain the results to manage the time better. First, I will talk about acer pollen emission from the urban plants in Ankara and our aim of the study. Then I will mention about the monitoring methods. In results and discussion part, I will give detailed information about the daily pollen levels and their relationship with all environmental factors. As a conclusion, you will see the effects of meteorological and air pollution parameters on pollen emission pattern. Let's check the importance of choosing non-allergenic plants in urban landscape. Airborne pollen release from urban plants during the pollination period is one of the main health risks for citizens which suffer more pollen allergies than people living in rural areas. So choosing non-allergenic plants can contribute to a healthier urban population. However, acer trees are commonly found as an ornamental plant in various urban landscapes, parks, gardens, and roadsides. These trees produce pollen that can trigger allergies in susceptible individuals during the spring months when they typically release their pollen. The main acer species are Acer campastre, Acer negundo, Acer palmatum, Acer platonoides, Acer pseudoplatanus, and Acer sapgarinium in Ankara province. Pollen grains of Acer negundo and Acer platonoides, which are especially common in parks and gardens, have the highest allergenicity. Previous aerobiological studies showed that the atmospheric acer pollen count was 1 to 7% of the total tree pollen count for a year that causes a high pollen load for the city. The pollen content of atmosphere varies according to local flora, climate change, meteorological factors, and the pollen season period. When we check the allergic risk of acer pollen, there are some studies about this subject conducted in Turkey. In a study conducted in Ankara, 54 adult patients with seasonal allergenic rhinitis living in the city had a sensitivity of approximately 26% to acer tree pollen. In another study, they reported that the allergenic prevalence of acer pollen was between 3 and 26 percentages from the central Anatolia. John et al. In 2010 investigated that the radius of sensitization to various pollen groups and the association between clinical sensitization and pollen load in Ankara. 43 patients with seasonal allergenic rhinitis were included. For acer trees, 10-year pollen count percentage was found as approximately 4%, while the sensitization rate is just 3%. And this is quite close to each other. In the study, we aim to examine the interactions of airborne acer pollen loads with a set of environmental factors such as meteorological factors and air pollutants. In material method part, we studied in Ankara, and Ankara is situated in Iranian phytogeographic region, and it's surrounded by a steppe environment. And this map shows the sampling location here, location area, and the land used by Korean and land cover data. In method, we used 7-day Hurst type volumetric spore trap for the spring months in 2023 for airborne pollen sampling. The trap was installed on the roof of the engineering faculty building of Ankara University, which is 15 meters high. The main pollen season was determined using the 98% method, and Spearman correlation test was performed to determine the relationship between pollen loads and meteorological and air pollution variables. Also, pollen threshold levels have been determined according to American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology classification. Let's check the results in a summary. According to study period, acer pollen season mainly took place from the last week of March to the middle of April. The highest acer pollen concentration was recorded on 27 March with the value of 232 pollen per cubic meter. The season length was not so long, just almost a month. However, the number of moderate risky days was 11, and the number of high risky days was just 1. In these graphs, we see that pollen release begins when the minimum temperature reaches +2 degrees. The peak level was observed when the minimum temperature reached +4 degrees. Since the pollen season starts in March and ends at the end of April, normally a negative correlation was observed between the pollen concentration and the temperature. While there was no significant correlation between pollen loads and other meteorological factors, a negative significant relationship was also found between carbon monoxide as a pollutant and pollen load. As a conclusion, during the early spring, although temperature was not very high, acer pollen counts are getting increased. However, as the temperature continues to increase in spring, the pollen concentration decreases. We assume that this decrease in pollen counts during the spring was not a completely matter of the meteorological factors, but it could be due to the termination of pollination period of acer trees. Nevertheless, the pollen season is short. Significant levels of allergenic acer pollen are released into the air in the spring. In 2023, it is very important that plants with allergenic pollen, such as acer, are not recommended to be included in urban landscape planning. Ultimately, collaboration among landscape planners, healthcare professionals, and environmental experts can help strike the right balance in urban landscaping decision. These are references. Thank you for your attention.